This is very different technology. So something about the way you made the bulb that allows for this healing capacity to come through. How did you design the bulb?
Yeah,
what's in there?
The product from the top down was really intentionally designed to recreate this ancestral experience with light that we used to have, and also be really, really calming and healing and balancing to like all the cells of the body and all the organs of the body and the whole holistically, like us as an organism and also us as like multi-dimensional amazing star beings. So yeah, the bulb was like a 4-year development to redesign the filament to emit more light therapy. So to get to a higher Kelvin that's like a little bit closer to what the sun does spectrally.
And what is a Kelvin?
Kelvin's a unit of temperature. It's a scientific unit of temperature. So the filament inside runs hotter than a normal heat lamp, and that shifts the spectrum into more high frequency. So we get more near infrared and a little bit more red, but mostly more near infrared as compared to the standard incandescent bulb of old, like what Dr. Kellogg used 120 years ago in his electric light bath when he invented this concept, in the early 20th century. We talked about that in the last podcast.
Yeah, I think 700,000 or 800,000 people saw the clip about you talking about sauna, just that clip alone. So we know people are hungry for this, but many people are like, well, I'll just go make it myself. It's just not the case.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I did 10 or 12 years ago. What we offer though is this 12 years of purpose-driven design to create this experience that's really turnkey and easy for people to use. They don't have to think about it. And the approach, there's a lot of design considerations like with electromagnetic shielding, because man-made EMFs, some types, like electricity, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth are really toxic to us. That's also part of the matrix and the programming is that type. It's like the blue light and the 5G. So we've taken great measure to like keep that out of the experience. And then the rest of it, we like beauty. Humans like beauty. It's again, like I don't want to just take a supplement to improve my health. I want to do something that also feels good and like is aligned spiritually. And so I want to be, when I do my sauna, I want to be in this like maximally nervous system relaxing experience where there's no distractions, there's no Bluetooth audio or anything like that. There's no track lighting and no LED stuff, and there's no artificial light. And it allows me to maximally go within and activate this unlimited cellular like technology that we have inside. So yeah, the whole concept has developed over time. It was definitely what I make now is kind of what I envisioned and dreamed in the beginning. It took a long time to get there. But the experience is really different than other saunas. Yeah, it makes you sweat so fast that people don't have so much time for anything anymore. And a regular sauna has to use the air to heat you up. So regular saunas, you preheat in an hour, you get in there for like 40 minutes to an hour. It's like a 2-hour time investment. So what I mentioned before in the last podcast is that you increase your health span, right? You reduce your risk of dying of all things non-trauma related if you use sauna, ideally probably 3 times a week. So if it's a 6-hour investment per week, there's a lot of people who are going to be turned off by that. With my sauna, and especially our new super sauna, that's a 7-bulb system, it's a 15-minute session with no preheating. So I think almost everybody has time for that. And then when you get in there and there's the EMF shielding and the Faraday liner and like the light, it becomes a very transcendental experience. It's not just about healing. It's very meditative. It's a perfect opportunity to do some breath work if you like that kind of stuff. I usually put on some kind of healing frequency. Lately, I've been putting on Ho'oponopono. It's a lovely. I
just got back from Maui. I'm all about it.
Yeah, you're all about that.
I'm all about it.
I recommend that to everybody. It's really fun to listen to.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get in there and there's so many different things going on that are healing you. The we talk about health being the harmony in the internal and external environment, the wellness of ourselves. The physiological component is the base of that, but it's also the most basic aspect. The emotional and energetic healing, as you know, is perhaps the most important things that are like challenges in our journey of health, is like resolving those emotional and energetic things. And you can actually do that also in the sauna, like because of the light and the heat and the peace that is in there. It's bringing you back into yourself. The grounding mat like grounds you really, really awesomely. And you begin to remember, wow, I'm healthy. And your mind starts to heal and you become more clear. You become more high frequency, like we were talking before. When you're more high frequency, your awareness increases of what's aligned with your highest and best self. And then it really gives you the fuel to like begin to change other things in your life, whether it's diet or lifestyle or maybe just like how you talk to your loved ones. It really has this multifaceted effect on your health that happens over time. So if you go to our website and you look at some of our reviews, they're just shocking. Some of them, none of them are like, it came quickly and arrived on time. They're all like these really life-changing stories. Now, it's not the only thing, but it is. We know that sauna is a fundamental tool for wellness in our crazy toxic world. And we know that we're beings of light. We're supposed to get this big dose of near-infrared light from the sun every day. And with the modern lifestyle, not getting enough sunlight, I think the average the average American gets like 5-7 minutes of sunlight a day now, like just going out to the car, basically, going to work. We're really deprived of the things that keep us really resilient and also allow us to be really high frequency and really multidimensional.
Well, everybody knows that vitamin D is important, but when you take vitamin D, even if it's liposomal, it's different than when you get it through the photoreceptors on your skin.
Oh, 100%.
The science on that is really interesting.
Yeah. And the melatonin too is really interesting. So melatonin is the body's number one antioxidant and in all the cells of the body. And the number one way that it's produced is it's not blood-based from the pineal gland being released at the end of the day. It's absolutely made in the cell by near-infrared light. So the light of the sun literally fills our antioxidant reserves constantly, daily, and you can't get that effect with ingestible melatonin because it doesn't like go in as well into the mitochondria. There's something special about how the light creates it inside deep in the cell that really activates and increases the production of cellular melatonin.
Do you know what that special is when it comes to sublingual, even liposomal vitamin D versus photoreceptors through the sun? Do you know the difference between the two, or it's just special?
Well, I'm talking about melatonin and then near infrared light. The vitamin D, though, there's definitely I'm not as familiar with that science, but the vitamin D is an interesting thing because yes, it's very important to get it from the sun, but the vitamin D comes from UVB, so ultraviolet light that's also ionizing. So it's also mutagenic. It damages our DNA at the same time. But when we get sunlight, we get a little bit of that ultraviolet. We get the vitamin D benefit. We get some DNA oxidation that's going on, but then the near infrared mitochondrial stimulation is going on at the same time, and the melatonin's there as this antioxidant. So you got all this antioxidant production. And you have literally the effects of light therapy, of photobiomodulation. One of them is to correct gene transcription, so to correct how the DNA is read. So the DNA and the epigenetics are being fixed in a much more powerful way than they're being damaged by the sunlight, by the ultraviolet component of the sunlight. So we get that balance. But indoors, with the matrix light, it's only damaging light. There's none of the healing light anymore. So to bring ourselves back into balance, we need to figure out a way to get a lot more near infrared in our modern lifestyle. And that's the incandescent bulb uniquely presents itself as a way to do that.
Hey, if you loved that clip you just saw, watch the full video. That clip was just a taste, just a piece, the tip of the freaking iceberg of what you just witnessed and what you just felt. Click the link on this screen, subscribe to the podcast, click the link on this screen if you're vibrating, if you're resonating, if you feel what I'm putting down.